Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a different topic. I'm going to talk about pregnancy, and I'm going to share with you why did I decide to do a home birth this time, and how am I preparing for this home birth as well. So I'm currently 36 weeks and 3 days pregnant right now with my second baby, and this time is a boy. And honestly, I'm counting the days because the last month feels like it's never ending. Honestly, like you get so impatient to meet your baby, and I'm feeling so puffy everywhere. Honestly, like I feel like I have lots of puffiness, retention, and I'm feeling kind of heavy. I didn't feel like this with my first child, Jade Angel, but you can see I am quite big, like my stomach is really big right now. Anyway, I wanted to do this video because I wanted to share with you my experience compared to the first time when I went to the hospital, what made me decide exactly to go for a home birth, and I want to talk to you about hypnobirthing because that's how I'm preparing for this whole thing, for this home birth. So when I had my first child, Jade Angel, which is now 4 years old, actually I went to the hospital, and I didn't focus so much during my pregnancy on preparing myself. Honestly, we did a course. We went to the hospital to do this course, but was very medical and more technical kind of course. So they didn't teach me anything about breathing techniques, how to cope with the pain or anything like that. And it was more focused on how to take care of a newborn, and how to change diapers, how to swaddle and stuff like that. And I did think honestly that we were prepared, but then when the day arrived of my labor, I wasn't prepared at all. I was open on the fact that if I couldn't handle the pain, I would have taken an epidural, but I was striving to not take one. And then when the day arrived of my birth, I remember we went to the hospital, and when I started to have the pain, I really couldn't endure my contractions because I didn't prepare on that sense. I was prepared on other levels with the course that we did, but not on how to endure with the pain and with the contractions. So yes, I ended up having an epidural, and I am sharing this story with you, but it's not to scare you, it's not to it's just like from my side, my perspective and my experience. So what happened when I had the epidural, it was kind of like scary for me, and this is why I decided this time I really don't want to have an epidural. And when you're doing a home birth, it's impossible to get an epidural, so you basically have to cope with your birth without taking any pain relief. So when I had this epidural, basically the scary part for me that made me decide it's not worth it for me anymore to try again to have an epidural is because my anesthesiologist was having a very hard time to find the right spot where to put the needle, and the reason was because he told me that my bone structure was very close one to the other. So it took very long time, and I was just there with my husband holding my hand, and I remember very, very vividly that the doctor was telling me you cannot move because it's a very, very delicate procedure, and you can have long-term effect if you move while it's performing you this injection in your back, the epidural. So I was having like contraction, and I wasn't able to breathe. I was tensing my body, but at the same time I had to stay like this with my back, okay, holding my husband's hand like that. And every time I was having a contraction, which I would prefer to call surge, and I will tell you after why, because it's a hypnobirthing thing, I was like unable to cope with the pain. Anyway, long story short, the epidural was very effective on me right after, so I was grateful once I had it, even if I was very scared at first when they couldn't find the spot, so they took a very long time, and I said to myself, never again. But at that moment it really helped, because once I had the epidural I really couldn't feel anything right after that. So I was completely numb. I couldn't feel my contractions, I didn't feel any pain, and I gave birth very smoothly. It was natural vaginal delivery for my first child. However, this time I was really looking forward to not take the epidural, because the recovery time was kind of long, I would say. So it was not like, I don't think it's worth with the fact that it takes longer for you to recover, and I was having a back pain, so I ended up doing some physiotherapy, because even changing a diaper and bending my back a little bit was painful. So I just thought like the second time I will not take an epidural. So what happened is that now that I'm pregnant with my second child, I decided to go in a completely different path, especially because, you know, with COVID and all these restrictions, you have to wear the mask while you're laboring, and I don't think I will cope very well without breathing, because breathing techniques is what gets you through labor. And I wish I knew this the first time that I had my child, Jade Angel, when I went to the hospital. However, when I went to the hospital, I was not impressed at all, because I was expecting somehow that the nurses would be able to coach me through my labor and just like tell me when to breathe. But it was not like that. So I think that probably if I knew what I know today, that's why knowledge is power when you're preparing for your birth, especially if you want and you're striving to go natural, okay, without any medical procedure, if you're trying to not have an epidural. I lost what I was saying. Anyway, sorry. So that's why like I decided to go in a totally different path this time. So I'm learning hypnobirthing, and I want to tell you more about how am I preparing this time around, because that time the nurses didn't coach me at all. And another thing, in the room was so bright, and it's a very well-known thing if you make a research for yourself, that when the lights are dim and are soft, you can focus more and you can relax more. But if you have the lights all on like I had, like it was very overwhelming. And because I didn't want to bother, I didn't feel like bothering, and I thought that was a normal thing, I didn't want to tell anything to my doctor, so I left. I let them do whatever they wanted. Another thing, I was very new to Canada, because it was just a couple of years that I was living in Canada from Italy. So I was looking at lots of videos of other women giving birth, and I see that everybody was drinking plenty of water during labor, because you should keep yourself hydrated with lots of water during labor, because it helps you so much, especially because you're sweating and everything. And I remember that I went to the hospital, I didn't prepare myself, I didn't have water. I just thought that that was provided by the hospital, but it wasn't provided. So if you are going to the hospital, please remind yourself to bring with you some water with the straws. You don't want to drink right from the bottle. It will be easier for you to have your birth companion to help you with a water bottle with inside a straw, okay? So remember to keep hydrated and take your water with you. As I was saying, now with all these restrictions with COVID, I was really not comfortable going to the hospital again. Also, I wanted to give a try to a different option, which is the home birth, because I didn't like my experience in the hospital, like I said before, for the reason that I mentioned. And I decided, instead of having an OB like I had the first time, I decided to go with a midwife. And I decided to prepare myself with hypnobirthing. I don't know if you ever heard about hypnobirthing, but I really recommend you this book. We actually took a course, and the course that we took was online, but the teacher provided us with this book. However, this book is on sale and you can find it, and is the Hypnobirthing, the Mongan method. I really recommend you this if you're interested in a natural, easy and calm childbirth, like natural birth. So I can tell from my experience, I have a very low pain tolerance. So when I decided that I didn't want to go to the hospital and I wanted to give a try to this home birth thing, which I obviously can tell you how it will work just once I experience it myself. I really like wanted to find something that would help me to cope with my fears, with my doubts, and with the pain management. Because, like I said, home birth, you cannot have any medication, you cannot have an epidural. So I decided that with this home birth as well, I'm going to use my bathtub, because it's like a scientific statistics saying that when you do a delivery inside of the water, it's going to be less painful because the water is very soothing, but also it helps you so much with tearing, because tearing is a natural thing that can happen while you're giving birth. But if you give birth in the water, just like it helps for that, like it's less likely to happen, basically. The whole thing about the hypnobirthing that I love so much is all about your mindset and your knowledge. So knowledge is power when you're trying to prepare yourself for something like a big event like giving birth. And it's all about like creating this natural relaxation every day. So the course actually provided me with some stuff to listen every day, which is called the rainbow relaxation. And initially when I tried it and I tried to relax listening to these tracks and all these techniques, I was thinking it was quite silly, okay, until I started to do it day after day after day. And honestly, even on my daily life, I feel like my body is so much more relaxed, not just when I'm doing these relaxation techniques, but generally. It's like my body is preparing and my mindset is already there, like for the day of my birth. So I'm really liking it for now. Another thing about hypnobirthing that I really love is the fact that they teach you that giving birth should be something joyful and something very natural, because we are women and we are born to give birth. That's how God created us, right? We are able to do this, and all these techniques that you learn during your hypnobirthing, all this relaxation that you will use even during the day of labor, they are meant to remove the stress, to take off the fears, and for you to actually honestly almost having birth without any pain. And I don't know, like I said before, how I will cope with the pain, like knowing what I know today. I am confident that will be a different experience, because I see videos, and if you can prepare yourself to do the same thing, if you're not too scared to watch this stuff, looking at other positive birth story, okay, where you have like videos of women giving birth, It's so amazing, it's so exceptional. You have no idea. I am always mesmerized at these women that are preparing themselves with these techniques, with hypnobirthing, because they give birth and they are so relaxed. They don't make like their face is normal, it's relaxed, because the whole thing about hypnobirthing is like letting go, trusting your body, trusting nature, and just let things flow without fear. Also, fear is your number one enemy, because once you have the fear, there's no enough oxygen and blood flow going through your going to your uterus, and it's going to cause more tension, which will cause more anxiety, which will cause your body to tense even more, and like that the pain will be very intense. So you want to prepare yourself with breathing techniques and with your relaxation techniques. So that's what I'm recommending you, and I'm going to share with you the 3 techniques, breathing techniques that is used during hypnobirthing in the moment that you're starting to have surges, which is like the contraction. In hypnobirthing they call it surges because they want to use just positive terms, and I'm going to show you everything now. So in hypnobirthing I learn the 3 different breathing techniques to use during labor. One is the calm breathing, the second is the surge breathing, and the third is the birthing breathing, which is in the final stage when you are finally feeling the urge to breathe down, like to push out your baby. But in hypnobirthing they say you breathe him down or her. So the calm breathing, the surge breathing, and the birthing breathing, you want to practice it every day, so it can become almost second nature to you. So you're very prepared, and you can have your husband or your birth companion there next to you when you're losing focus, reminding you how to breathe if you're losing track. Okay, so calm breathing, you start to do this type of breathing when you're initially starting to have some surges, when it's not super intense but labor is starting. Okay, and basically you have to relax the whole body, feeling like everything is loose, limp, and ready to open up. You don't have to keep any tension, okay, in any stage of your labor. So like this you release endorphins, and the endorphins will actually give this natural anesthesia to your body, where you feel much less pain, or like somebody says, almost little to no pain. So you have to breathe in at the count of 4 and breathe out at the count of 8. So it will be in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can try yourself. In, out, and you don't want to have any air escaping through your mouth as well. You want everything to come in and out from your nose, because oxygen is gold during your labor. You send all that oxygen to your uterus and to your baby, okay? So don't let escape. You have your mouth gently, softly closed, but don't have your breath escaping through your mouth. Second is the surge breathing. This is when your contractions are getting stronger. So you want to do the surge breathing during your contraction, and in between that moment where your contractions are not there, you want to use the calm breathing to keep that flow of relaxation going through your body. So the surge breathing is a little bit more difficult. You have to practice it a little bit longer. Is like you're sipping air through your nose very slowly at the count of 20. Okay, so you count 20 very fast and out for 20 very fast. And every time you do this breathing, you have to think about feeling like an imaginary balloon inside of your stomach, so you feel like it's expanding and you're sending the air through your birth canal and through your baby, like that. Okay, so you count like fast 20, out 20, but you're sipping air, putting out air, not let your air escape through your mouth. Just softly close your mouth, softly close. That is always very important, to have your mouth softly closed, because there's a connection between the jaw area and the mouth area with your birth area, that if you have tension over here, you're going to feel more tense and more pain over there. So you want to keep it always very loose, very relaxed. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So let's do it together. In. Out. Sorry, somebody's knocking on the door. Okay, so again, in for 20, out for 20, like you're sipping air through your nose, gentle, and out through your nose with your mouth softly closed, not shut, all relaxed and loose. And then finally we have the birth breathing. This is a type of breathing that you want to use when you're feeling like pushing, okay? But you don't want to push when you don't feel ready. You don't want anybody to coach you to push. You want to do it when you feel the need and when the body feels the need. So follow the lead of your body and your baby and just work in harmony like that. So the push breathing, birth breathing, okay, you just have to imagine to send like lots of love with your breathing through your birth canal, through your baby, and you just imagine as you're breathing a J. It's called even J breath, because this is how your baby will come out of your birth canal, okay, like this. So as you breathe, always keeping yourself relaxed, okay, and not holding any tension due to fast, like you hold your breath like that, and then you push, like you imagine like the air going down to the back of your throat, sending all this oxygen to your baby. Imagine it that your oxygen goes out as a J. Let's try together. Again. Honestly, the best way to try this is when you're going to the washroom right now, before your birthing day happens. And another way that you can do this breathing is like using a sound like or moo. You see, your mouth is still like really is closed, like you're making a sound but you're not letting too much air escaping, so you can do like breathe in and then go like that. Otherwise go with ah. And these are the hypnobirthing techniques that I'm learning. Another thing is affirmation. Have some of your favorite affirmation, like envision your perfect birth, envision your baby coming out without any pain, without any fear. Imagine your wonderful experience before it even happens, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Honestly, like, I always post makeup, so I don't know how this is going to be, like if you guys will enjoy it or not, but I thought that was a very good thing to share, especially because it's helping me a lot and I want to share this knowledge with you. So thank you for watching, and happy birthday. Bye, beauties.